Hello everyone, this is Ryan, and today I'm going to be discussing Path of Exile and my journey to get the level 90 hardcore achievement, Eternal. And as you can see, I've got a hardcore character in Crucible League, level 90. And uh, I don't have all my endgame gear equipped. What I do have is like my Act 1 gear equipped, because this is kind of what you can expect to have, minus the flasks, um, going into Act 1. Like, you're going to have a weapon, you might have like one chest piece, one helmet, a pair of boots, and a shield. And maybe you get lucky and you find a ring. So, what you're going to want to do is make sure that you're getting armor evasion or energy shield, depending on what your build is, plus life. Because the more life you have, the more you can survive. And the more damage you can output, the better you can kill things, obviously. So, what I like to do is I like to get life rolls and I like to get resist rolls on my rings. In Act 1, what you want to do is get your cold res capped for Merveil, and then that's pretty much it for early acts. Each act, if you're struggling, the first thing you want to do is look at your gear, make sure you have like all the same type of gear equipped, meaning like if you're going armor, go all pieces with armor. If you're going armor evasion, make sure you're stacking armor and evasion on every piece of gear, and then get those resistances, because you want to cap resistances as quickly as you can, because that's going to just make it so that you can survive. Really, the acts shouldn't be too much of a struggle for you. If they are, just look at your gear and follow your build guide, and then you should be good to go. If you're struggling in Act 5 to kill Katava, that's understandable. Katava's pretty tough of a fight, especially if you don't understand the mechanics. So I suggest getting like a Frost Blink or some kind of movement skill so you can dash around Katava and avoid the like ground ailments and the fire breath and all of that good stuff. If you're unfamiliar with the fights, I would suggest looking up videos for each boss that you're going to tackle, and that should save you some headaches. Once you get into Act 6, the first thing you want to do is pull up your defenses and check out your resistances, because they're going to drop by 30%. I like to run capped resistances all the time. Obviously, I don't have it on this character because I'm a level 90 character and I don't have my level 90 gear because I gave it all away. But you can take a look here at some of my gear that I've collected. This tab is like all the gear that is more expensive and that I could either sell or reuse. And so everything I buy will have to have, like, look at this chest piece for instance. It's got high armor and evasion, but it's also got resists on there. Now this is like a starting out chest. I know 105 chaos seems like a lot, but early in the league you can probably get this for like 20 chaos. And then as you progress further into the game, like towards end game, this is like a helmet that you would use for fire trap, because it's got level 20 burning damage, it's got 9% suppress spell damage. The rarity of items found is just like kind of a nice thing, but it's got cold resist and it's got burning damage, so it's got some of the resist and some of the defenses, but it's also got a lot of offense on it. So that's a good example of a good helmet for like a fire trap righteous fire build. Here's one that's basically I just had for resistances. It's got 26% chaos, 21% fire resist, and then I crafted on some more resistances. And that craft's going to cost you like 3 chaos, so you might not be able. You can always run like the lower one for 11% resistances early on, and then yeah, that's pretty much what I would suggest. As far as leveling goes, you want to hit Act 10 around like late 60s, early 70s, and you want to complete Act 10 no later than like level 74, in my opinion, because let me pull up this website here for you guys. Um, the reason being is that at level 74, um, actually at level 74, you're still getting 100% XP for the zones in Act 10. So you can pretty much run until level 75 until you start seeing diminishing returns on clearing, like running the Act 10 zones over and over and over again. So for me, I usually run till like 76. And once I hit 76, that's when I start looking into getting the maps, because the Act 10 zones are level 67, and I'm only getting 90% XP. So by level 76, you want to be pushing into maps if you're trying to be the most efficient running of XP. And so let me hide this again and show you on the map here. Act 7 is level 67 in the Reliquary and the Ossuary. So that's what I run until like level 76. Then I start pushing maps, and let me look at my maps here. What I'll do is I would never run something like this with this many modifiers on it, because even though it's level, you're getting item quantity 56, you're probably not strong enough to take it on. So what I do is I'll either run white maps, or I'll get a white map and I'll put an orb of transmutation on it. And what I'm trying to find is like this tier 14 map, just increase number of rare monsters. Like that's all I want on my maps, because I want more mobs and higher quality mobs so that I get more XP and better drops. And that's pretty much what I recommend doing, is just taking it slow, progressing your Atlas map. Luckily, the white maps, all you need to do is complete a, let me pull it up here. You just need to complete magic or higher. So my strategy works up until yellow maps, when you need to start doing the ALCT versions of maps. And as you can see, I did do some corrupted and rare maps on my Atlas tree, but I wouldn't recommend it going any higher. Like you can see, I have like tier 16 maps. I would just run those white or blue, and that's how you get to level 90 as quickly as possible. My struggle was I kept restarting characters because I would die at like level 60, level 67, 77, 80, 82, 88. And the whole reason I was dying is because I kept pushing harder and faster than I should have. I should have just slowed down and said, okay, you know what? This is a bit boring. It's farming maps over and over and over again. But at the end of the day, it's less boring to farm maps over and over to hit like milestones to get to level 90, rather than having to restart, go all the way through the campaign, then push maps and like do that whole grind over and over. So if you find yourself dying over and over, just slow down and take the maps one at a time. Let me just show you the tool that I'm using here. And let me show you, usually I don't run into problems until I get into like the 80s. So like at 82, for instance, you can do tier 8 maps and get 100% XP, which is level 75 mobs. So that's what I would suggest doing, is like once you get into the 80s, and if you're still progressing slowly, just do white or magic maps with mods that aren't going to kill you, and run them over and over. And once you hit 83, or you go up a level, go to tier 10 maps. Or if you're less comfortable pushing a tier, even if you're getting 94% experience for tier 7 maps, like that's not terrible, but you don't want to drop below 90% on a map. At least I don't. So every level I check this tool here and I see, okay, what map can I run at 100% XP? And that's tier 12 maps. Okay, can I handle it at my level? If yes, I run it. If not, okay, boom. Move on. Let me show you this tool. This is PoE prices.info, and this is where you can check the value of an item. So let's look at one of my items. Like this isn't going to be worth anything. Let me pull up something in my stash tab to just show you. So what you do is you hover over the item, hit Control C, and then Alt Tab into here. Let me move it over here so you guys can see. So you hover over an item, hit Control C, and then you come over here into the website, paste it, and then hit submit, and it'll say, okay, this is worth like 29 chaos. Well, it's not worth 29 chaos. This is worth significantly more than, let me hide that. It's worth 1.5 divine, or maybe a divine, maybe 100 chaos, but definitely not 25 chaos. Another tool you can use is Awaken PoE Trade, and to use that, you just hit Control D, and it will pop up. Let me see if you guys can see this. I don't know if you can. I can't tell if you guys can see it or not, but there's a tool that you can basically hover over the item and hit Control D, and it'll show you what the price is. So that's something you can also use. Another tool that I use all the time is the regular trade site, and there's a better trading add-on that you can use to save your trades, and like righteous fire gems. Well, this is hardcore, so some of the stuff doesn't show up, but you can basically save everything you're looking for on the right hand side. That way you can just click on it and it'll fill in all everything you're looking for. Like I always wanted armor gear and with suppressed spell damage for my boots, so that's what I'm searching for. Gloves, for instance. There are none online. Let me see if there are any. There aren't any gloves that I was searching for. And that's basically because this is hardcore. It's not softcore. You're not going to be able to find everything that you need. But hopefully you can get enough that you can progress. But those are the tools I used. That was kind of my thought process on leveling, and how I finally got there was to take it slow. What you want to do is get increased number of rares on your maps, like I said, and that's pretty much it. So if you're struggling to hit level 90, check out your gear. Make sure your resists are capped. Make sure you have enough life regen, armor, evasion, whatever it is that you're stacking for your build. Just follow that build guide, and before you know it, you'll hit level 90, and you'll be one of the 1.4% of people that have achieved that. So hopefully this video has helped you. If it has, give it a thumbs up, and I'll see you next time.